That's 30, there was 32 coins. That would be been half the collection. We sold it for, I think it was about $75,000, something like that. Those mid-90s coins are almost impossible.
Wow, wow, wow.
Okay, those mid-90s coins. Okay, now.
Ooh, now this looks cool.
This is fun.
Oh.
I've got 58 of these. We already sold 23.
Yeah.
I gotta put these down so we can really see them. Okay. Look at the dates. 1986, first year of issue, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92. The first 7 years of the American Silver Eagle, less than $100 a coin. Now here's the cool part. It's not just any coin. These are the original proof coins. Oh. These are the special presentation coins, and this is the original government packaging. I picked the first 7 years because for the first 7 years, the United States government made the proof coins at the San Francisco Mint.
Okay.
For the last quarter century or more, they've made them at the West Point Mint.
Okay.
These, they started at the, and they've never made them at the San Francisco Mint again for the regular issue American Eagles, proof Eagles. So these are the first 7 years and the complete set of the American proof Silver Eagles that you're going to have. And here's the cool thing, they come with all the original government boxes.
Can I ask you something? Was it as hard to find pristine packaging as it was the coin? Or?
Much harder to find the packaging than the coin.
Really?
Because people, I mean, well, it's cardboard.
Yeah, well.
I mean, it's cardboard and paper.
You're right.
Okay, it's 32 years old.
Oh, God, when you say it that way.
You know, it's 32 years old and it's cardboard and paper. So, yeah, it takes a beating. So, finding this in pristine condition is significantly more difficult than the coins. And to have them, oh, yes, we have the original, oh, you have them, fantastic. You have the original certificate of authenticity. They go, well, no, who does?
Exactly.
And I go, well, if you're going to sell them to me, you need to. Because it gives you all the original specifications signed by the Mint Director or the Treasurer of the United States government, Madonna Pope at the time. And at $99 per coin. That's the thing that I find amazing. If we take, for instance, I'm down to 57. I have 24 of these, 2 dozen already sold. So when you look at this and realize, okay, it's the first 7 years. Now, the proof coins are the present. Proof is not a condition, but a method of manufacture. I'm going to pull this out, guys, and pull this down here. If you take this coin, look at this beautiful little velvet box. It's got the little pewter. Isn't that great? The little pewter seal of the United States government on that.
That's cool.
I'm going to pop that open.
All right.
See this little tab, little tabby right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just pull that.
Okay.
Boom, and the coin pops right out.
How neat.
So you can see that coin, and then this mirror finish is done by striking the coin multiple times at high pressures to give you that beautiful mirror finish, and there is that same. In today's world, that's a W mint mark, and has been on the proof American Eagle for years and years and years.
Well, that's a knockout.
So look at that, isn't that beautiful? Now you have to understand, this is an original 1986 American Silver Eagle. So once again, we picked pristine coins and we picked pristine packaging, which is why I had only about 80 of these sets to go around. We're down to 53 of these sets. They are selling very quickly. It's one of those coin sets. Look, if I put them together haphazardly and I was willing to charge $899 or $999, I could probably do 100 or 200 sets, you know, once a month. But that's not what we do. Remember, that's why we talked about it. That's why we've been here doing this for over a quarter of a century, is because we are able to do this and have these coins at good prices, the best possible prices that we can bring to you. And that's what the key to this is. We're now down to 50 sets. I have far more people on the phone than I have sets. It's not a set that you're going to see next week or the week after or something like that, because it is old.
No way.
Here's one of the things I like. So, so here's the original government packaging.
I can't get over that. That's so
I want to
dynamite.
flip this open. Okay, this is a pup. This is like a silver pup. Notice the circle?
Yeah.
If you'll notice, the coin is slightly raised. So this is what happens if that's closed for 25 years.
Oh,
it creates a tiny, that's how I know, that's one of the things we actually look for to make sure that it's not a put together set, that this is probably the original coin, or we believe it's absolutely the original coin in the original packaging. Because the only way you can do that is have that shut for about 25 or 30 years.
You're right.
Is ultimately what it comes to. A 5-year-old coin isn't going to have that, indentation. And so that's an important thing to have. And so like I said, first 7 years, so this is the first year of issue, 86, 87. And interesting interestingly enough, people say, so the 86 is the hardest one to get. Not actually, and we're under 4 dozen now. A lot of these moving. No, because it came out in 86. Everybody was really excited.
Yeah.
They were still pretty excited in 87.
Yeah.
By 88, it's like, I've been there, done that.
Yeah.
The hard coins to get are 88, 89, 90, 91, and 92. And so, because people put these away because it was the very first one. Well, people didn't necessarily put these away. So finding these coins at all, let alone in pristine condition with everything else involved, is extraordinarily, excruciatingly difficult to do. Thank goodness it's not really up to me, but my buying team, you know. And so they have to put up with that. Remember, the packaging, as you pointed out, all individually hand select. Now there's a tiny bit of wear on here, but once again, it is cardboard. Okay?
Exactly.
It is paper. Okay, it is cardboard and paper, and that's the United States Mint seal put on by the United States Mint. Absolutely stunning coin opportunity right there. First 7 years, the only 7 San Francisco Mint regular proof.
Yeah, I can tell you without question, every single